Here's what's coming up on Network Africa. Liberia's president-elect, Joseph Boakai, set to review mining concessions, deal with issues of corruption and sufferings of the people. Dozens dead as severe flooding hits Kenyan coastal city of Mombasa. Plus, at least 32 people killed after gunmen stormed local villages in Sudan. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Millicent Walker. Let's begin with stories and happenings that made headlines over the weekend.
Liberian President George Weah has congratulated opposition leader Joseph Boakai on his victory in the presidential race. Mr. Boakai led with 50.9% of the vote over President Weah's 49.1%, with nearly all the votes counted.
Boakai Joseph N. UP, votes obtained 814,212, constituting 50.89%. Weah George Mane CDC, votes obtained 785,778, constituting 49.11%.
President Weah, who was a former football star, has been in power since 2018, but will step down in January next year. Meanwhile, Madagascar's incumbent president, Andry Rajoelina, has taken a massive early lead in last Thursday's election. The run-up to the poll was marred by chaos boycotted by some parties, with votes from 37% of polling stations counted by Sunday evening. The opposition said participation was the lowest in Madagascar's history, as President Rajoelina currently leads with 62.4%, but the final certified result is not expected until the end of November. Still on Sunday, the president of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, launched his re-election bid in a packed-to-capacity stadium in the capital Kinshasa, urging voters to give him another mandate to consolidate his achievements. The former Prime Minister of the country, Augustin Matata Ponyo, withdrew from the presidential race, saying he will now be back in Moise Katumbi, a millionaire businessman and former governor of the Katanga region. More than 43 million registered voters are eligible to take part in the general election and presidential polls on December the 20th. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz received the heads of state and government from Ethiopia, Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Morocco and Zambia at Berlin's Chancellery on Sunday, one day before hosting the G20 Compact with Africa Investment Summit in the German capital. The Compact with Africa, which was created in 2017 under the German G20 presidency, aims to bring together reform-minded African countries, international organizations, and bilateral partners to coordinate development agendas and discuss investment opportunities. A third round of United Nations negotiations to try to deliver the world's first treaty to control plastic pollution has drawn more than 500 proposals on the last day of talks in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi. Negotiators have until the end of next year to strike a deal for the control of plastics, which produce an estimated 400 million tons of waste every year. The plastics industry, oil and petrochemical exporters, including Russia and Saudi Arabia, have said a global deal should promote recycling and reuse of plastic. But environmental campaigners and some governments say much less needs to be produced in the first place. However, 2 more rounds of talks will take place next year to try to finalize the deal. And to our main stories for today, where Liberia's president-elect Joseph Boakai has had his first interview after last week's election victory. Ms. Boakai says his administration will take a close look at mining concessions to ensure they benefit the country, adding that issues of corruption and the suffering of the people would be addressed.
First thing, we were trying to rescue Liberia from these people. They have been rescued. We have taken it from them. The next thing is what to do after taking it from them is to deal with the issues that have been hanging over this country, corruption, the issues of non-delivery of services to the people, which are, an array of them. So we have to deal with those issues of corruption, the suffering of the people. To be very frank with you, the mining sector had been one of the most problems in this country. In my lifetime, I've seen the mining sectors. I have seen them, our resources exploited, and I've seen the lives of the people remaining the same or worse. For most of the areas where mining has taken place, they have become ghost cities. A lot of people there unemployed. Nobody has even cared to find out what should happen to those people who, because of mining, have been there. The mining sector is going to be within our very, very watch. We're going to know what is happening with our resources, what are the people getting for them, and what do we see after they are no longer there.
Liberia's President-elect Joseph Boakai speaking there, and to the CWA conference where Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu today joined other heads of state and government of compact with African member countries, bilateral partners, as well as heads of international organizations in Berlin, Germany, for the G20 Compact with Africa conference, taking place alongside the 4th G20 Investment Summit, co-hosted by the German government and German business associations. The event will deliberate on the immediate enhancement of economic and business cooperation with a view to outlining concrete measures to boost investments in critical areas such as energy, trade, infrastructure, and new technologies, among others. President Tinubu arrived at the Willy Brandt Berlin-Brandenburg International Airport in Berlin Sunday and was received by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, the Chargé d'Affaires of Nigeria's embassy in Germany, Ambassador Inga Regina Ocheni. Well, we head to Kenya, where the Coast Guard has recovered 2 bodies said to be employees of Kenya's tax agency who had been swept away by floods while driving in the coast region. The guards also retrieved the body of a man who was swept away while riding his motorbike. Authorities confirmed 10 people dead at the coast following 3 days of unrelenting heavy rains and floods.
This is the situation in the Kenyan coastal city of Mombasa. The streets submerged following days of heavy rains. Passengers are evacuating from this flooded bus, holding on to a rope amid chest-high water. Others stand on top of the bus with umbrellas and raincoats as they wait for their turn to pull themselves to safety. This is happening in the Kinsauni district, nearly 500 kilometers from the capital, Nairobi. Residents are calling for help amidst the floods that have displaced thousands of people.
I'm unable to cross this river because I don't have the amount of money they are charging people to be assisted to cross. So if the government can come to our aid, please help us, because some of us can end up sleeping here. We are also asking if we can be assisted with a boat to help us cross.
At least 46 people have died in flood-related incidents in Kenya since the raining season began less than a month ago. According to aid group Save the Children, the death toll is expected to rise. The Coastal Regional Police say more than 20,000 families have been displaced across the 3 affected counties of Mombasa, Kilifi, Kwale, and Tana River. Hundreds of thousands of people remain homeless, even as heavy rains followed by flash floods submerge towns across East Africa.
Well, the VOA's Nairobi Bureau Chief, Mariama Diallo, joins us now for more. Hi, Mariama. It's good to see you. Is this a typical situation when it rains in Mombasa? Give us an update as regards to the heavy flooding that they're witnessing.
Yes, the death toll has risen to about 46 people, but they're talking about thousands and thousands of people that have been affected by this recent heavy rainfall, floods, landslides, and it's not just people that have been affected. There's also farmland. There are businesses, schools, basically hospitals, health centers. Basically across the sectors, everyone is basically affected by this recent rainfall. The issue is that I think in the beginning, some of it was predicted already that this. During this period, during this rainy season, that there would be, more rain than the average. But I think at some point, they had talked about the stuff would be due to, obviously, the El Nino phenomenon. But I think at some point the government had also pushed back and had said that maybe that the rains would not be as devastating. But as we've seen since the beginning of November, certainly week after week after week, certainly I am in Nairobi and it's been raining the past couple of weeks. You'll see some sun here and there, but it's mostly rain during the day and rain in the evening, and it feels very heavy. So I can only imagine what's happening in the coastal areas. When I spoke to, I think I spoke to an analyst from the Red Cross Society in Kenya last week, who was saying that, still predicting that basically half of the 47 counties in Kenya will be affected, and they were talking about the fact that it will be serious, and if it was serious already in the beginning of the month, it can only get worse. So yes, lots of people affected, including even cargo, going into Mombasa port, which had been suspended but had since resumed, according to Kenya Railways.
So, Mariama, quite an unusual rainfall that we're seeing, especially with regards to the results. But then, how have the people been reacting? I know they're perhaps trying to pick up the pieces, and then there is family that have lost loved ones. What have authorities done? Were they prepared ahead of this, and what are they doing now?
Have been urging people, obviously, to avoid flood waters, and to also try to, the ones who live in low-lying areas, to basically try to evacuate. I think the deputy president who came out over the weekend talked about 80,000 families being affected, and that the numbers were rising. They've talked about, yes, they have been sending, helping with sending helicopters on the ground, and also helping basically take care of certain emergency services. But as you can see on the videos that you just saw and the videos that we've been seeing, that when your bus is stuck in the middle of of a flood, what do? You see people climbing on top of the buses. Some people trying to cross using basically like lines to do that. It looks pretty dire, certainly, when you're looking at the images. But it's not. I think the government is probably trying to do whatever they can. But you also have other organizations like the Red Cross, the Kenya Red Cross Society, and other organizations that are also helping with just about everything that they can.
And with all of this, I know this flood is coming amidst UN treaty talks in Nairobi to tackle plastic pollution. Many wonder how the country grapples or controls waste. Are there often cases of blocked canals, drainage systems?
Well, I think at this point, the blame game is going around because, yes, you have some people who are talking about the fact that the drainage system is very poor. This is why when it rains, the water has nowhere to go. But you also have, people like the governor, the Mombasa governor, who talked about the fact that it had nothing to do with poor drainage systems. What he was saying was that there are a lot of these houses, a lot of the homes that have been basically constructed on top of waterways. And so he is saying that when there are heavy rainfalls, basically there is no way, nowhere for the water to go. So you hear both sides basically coming up with what the reasons are for these heavy floods and why there are no places for the water to go. There's just also when there's, maybe there's just a lot of water and maybe, other people are talking about being better prepared for something like that, especially when it was predicted by the Kenya Meteorological, Department Service. They've been talking about this for a while, and maybe some people are also saying maybe a better preparation would have helped.
Indeed, Mariam, I will continue to monitor the events and the updates. Do continue to stay safe. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Still to come on the program. Nigerian music stars Burna Boy and Rema win big at the Billboard Afrobeats Awards. We have details in a moment. Welcome back. At least 32 people have been killed in Sudan's border town of Abyei after gunmen stormed local villages in the area. According to Sudanese authorities, more than 20 others were injured in that attack. The information minister for Abyei, Bolus Kuoch, noted that United Nations peacekeepers were among those killed as they intervened to stop the violence. The region, rich in oil reserves, lies on the border between Sudan and South Sudan and is considered to be part of both countries since a peace agreement was signed in 2005. And it's Riyadh season in Saudi Arabia, meaning there are hundreds of exhibitions from around the world, each showcasing culture, tradition, and perhaps a few lessons in history. At the Boulevard, world visitors get to see favorite landmarks, experience unique treats and cultural aspects of these countries. Our foreign affairs correspondent Amarchi Ubani reports.
It's a long ride from the hotel to the Boulevard World, one which started late in the afternoon, and saw us arrive at our destination when it was already dark. Welcome to Boulevard World, part of Riyadh season this year. Nothing prepared us for what we were about to see. From replicas of movies past and present, we're transported to countries such as China and Syria, where visitors are treated to street-sold coffee or tea and local treats. Then we segue into the Iranian exhibition, where the sale of precious stones and jewelry seem to be the favorite merchandise.
We bring it Iran, a stone of Iran, high quality natural stone like emerald, like ruby, like sapphire, like agate. Which kind of stone do you like it? We have here, and we can make a bracelet, necklace, earring, anything you want it. In all world, precious stone is expensive, It's not a synthetic stone. It's high quality of stones, like emerald, like ruby.
Even the little children got excited at seeing our camera and wanted to say hello.
Your name? Huh? What's your name? This is Fahudi. Fahudi. Oh, how old is Fahudi? Yes.
Morocco, the first African country that we're entering into, well, the exhibition actually, here at the Boulevard. You know, Boulevard is like a potpourri of, different countries and cultures in one place for people of Saudi Arabia to get an understanding of the world that they live in and other people who live in it. We also get to see local jewelry and watch the painstaking art of rug making and shoe making. Italy is up next in our sights.
قالوا ميتالا حياكم الله زورونا في ايطاليا تشرفونا وتنورونا قالوا سهلا يا مرحبا.
It's the home of favorite pizza parlors and the famous tiramisu.
What we do is each country we brought something coming from their tradition. So we brought this one, which is you just picture the tiramisu, and we serve it the way of the Italian they serve it. And also we have fried pizza, which is coming from Milano.
Let's go, guys, fast, because you want to finish and cook, and because you want to go Europe directly. خلاص. الله يطول.
A final stop is the city of love, Paris, where you can see the Arc de Triomphe and the Eiffel Tower, the street attractions reminiscent of the city itself. Riyadh Season is an annual state-funded entertainment and sports festival started as part of 11 entertainment festivals carried out by a Saudi Seasons initiative that was launched in 2019. Amarachi Ubani, Channel Television News.
And finally on the programme, Nigerian music stars Burna Boy and Rema have been honoured at the 2023 Billboard Music Award that held in the United States. Singer and songwriter Burna Boy bagged the award for Top Afrobeat Artist. He dedicated his win to Africa and every artist coming out of Africa. While Rema, alongside Selena Gomez, won the Top Afrobeat song for Calm Down. Rema said the honour for the song is a celebration of unity and the global domination of Afrobeat. The two awards were among the 9 new categories introduced this year to recognise the diversity and growth of the global music industry. And congratulations to all the winners. That's Network Africa. Many thanks for watching. I'm Millicent Boakai. Bye for now.